Hello fellow viewers, in this video we will be discussing how Asmodeus can be an ally to Blitz and stolas. Before you kill me for my opinion, let me explain. So we will be taking evidence from the helluva boss level up expo event from a few months ago and a few clips from the 2020 trailer. Okay, so this is how it would work. Asmodeus and Fizzrolli would be having breakfast, then Fizz hugs Asmodeus and a waitress who works at Ozzy's would see this and would be concerned. She would report to the Goetia what is happening between Asmodeus and Fizzrolli. The Goetias would make fun of her for this and then see what is happening for themselves, and this would catch the attention of Andrialphus and Stella, and they began to hunt Fizzrolli, so they can blame Imp and Stella can have her compensation from stolas. But when Fizzrolli is going to die after Blitz exposes Fizzrolli, Blitz would save him.
What the fuck?
Now Blitz saving Fizzrolli seems a bit odd, but a part of Blitz knows the mistakes he made and most likely wants to redeem himself in Fizzrolli's eyes, just like how he wants to redeem himself in his sister's eyes.
Thanks a lot, Blitzo. I'm out of a job. Fuck!
Barb, wait. I want to help you. Let me help you, please. You're clean now. Let's grab dinner. We'll catch up and we'll talk about...
You don't fucking get it! Just because I'm out of rehab doesn't mean I want to see you. I never want to see you, ever. Next time you want to find me, Blitzo, don't.
Anyways, then Blitz saves him, then Fizzrolli is protected by Blitz for the most part now. And if you're wondering of these scenes, these don't matter much, except for this one where Fizz says,
"Glad you can admit it. Want a medal?"
which means Blitz accepted his mistakes of what he did to Fizz, and this one where they're dancing may not be in the past. Now some of you must be saying it is in the past since he doesn't have his scar, but the trailer never shows him his scar, and Fizzrolli has cybernetics arm, which would complicate stuff, so this does have to take in the current time. And Vivzipop obviously doesn't want that, so yes, this has to take in the present time. And let's say this scene does not take in the past. This scene where they're dancing is where Fizzrolli could be distracted the hunters, and Blitz and the hunters have a fight. Then Fizzrolli uses a matchstick and to burn the place, most likely getting the hunters killed. And Fizzrolli and Blitz get outside the place, and they reach to the Lustring and Asmoudious palace. Then Fizzrolli or Asmoudious will owe Blitz a favor where he would ask to protect stolas and his business family from the Goetia, and he hopes they stay safe. But then Asmoudious reveals something very sad to Blitz. When stolas came to meet him, Andrialphus and Stella were there, and he may have forced him to make a deal with Stella and Andrialphus, and asks for Blitz forgiveness, but Blitz just leaves, and Asmoudious tries his best to help Blitz so he can repay his debt for saving Fizzrolli. Now you may say, how did Andrialphus and Stella tricked Asmoudious that stolas kidnapped or killed? Or whatever, I don't know what they will say. But anyways, remember that waitress that could have also been Andrialphus' maid who works as a double agent for Andrialphus. And also in this sneak peek we clearly see stolas scarred, then we see Asmoudious activating his power. Then he is scarred of him. Then stolas makes his compensation with Stella. Now you may say, why would Andrialphus do that when he sent assassins after Fizzrolli? Well, ever heard of Plan B? What I am saying is that the hunters were not meant to fully succeed on killing Fizzrolli. If they failed they wouldn't care much. Fizzrolli is a target, so they can use Asmoudious to make stolas agree to give compensation to Stella, which results in Asmoudious regretting his decision after figuring out he was tricked and will try to fix his mistake. As well, now this can be a result of making Asmoudious like Saul Goodman. Now some of you are arguing that Asmodeus is a villain, not an antagonist, but that's not true. Asmodeus is not a villain, he is an antagonist. If you don't know what that means, he's just one of those characters who just helps the main character progress. Like Death from Puss in Boots 2. First, Puss is ignorant and wastes his gifts by dying 8 times like an idiot, so Death tries to teach him a lesson.
I've come for you, Puss in Boots.
But I'm still alive.
You know, I'm not a cat person. I find the very idea of 9 lives absurd. And you didn't value any of them. So, why don't I do us both a favor and take this last one now?
I know I can never defeat you, Lobo, but I will never stop fighting for this life.
You're ruining this for me. I came here for an arrogant little legend who thought he was immortal. But I don't see him anymore. Live your life, Puss in Boots. Live it well.
So yeah, picture this image. Now since Vivziepop released the next title's episodes and one of them is named Apology Tour, some of you may be saying that Blitz will be apologizing to Fizzroli in that episode, which is possible, but I don't think it will be about Blitz apologizing to Fizzroli. But it would be Blitz apologizing with Verusica or Stolas, but I think it will be Verusica because we need more time with everyone's favorite succubus pop star, and also we need to know more about Blitz and Verusica's past, and we will also be having 2 episodes of Fizzroli, so yeah. Verusica needs the spotlight, more screen time and character development. Okay, let me introduce a friend of mine named helluva16.
Thank you to Olympic Studios for inviting me to talk about this topic. I have really enjoyed working with you on this. Like Olympic said at the start, majority of my clips come from either the Helluva Boss 2022 trailer or the recent Level Up Expo teaser trailer from the panel that Viv and the cast did back in February this year. My opinion on this topic is that when Fizz is looking through a newspaper in the 2022 trailer, we can see that someone saw them cuddling after the events that went down with Blitz and Stolas during Aussies. I previously thought that Verusica was the one to tell the news about this scandal between them, but after thinking it over, it's more likely to be someone who works at Aussies, such as a waitress who Olympic mentioned before. Imagine if the planned Aussies Part 2 went ahead and we see an Aussie staff member on the phone to a higher up in the Ars Goetia, such as someone who is close to Stola's dad, and the staff member would tell them what they saw. Now, I don't think the Goetias would make fun of her, instead they would take this seriously, but however, they would laugh and talk down to the waitress who told them, as she is an imp, and as we've seen from Stella, the Goetia view imps as poor people. Blitz meanwhile would have been at home crying himself to sleep that night, but would wake to an unexpected call from Fizz. He would answer and say, "Get your butt to the Bird Palace now." Blitz is reluctant to do this due to that night's events, but goes anyway, as deep down he still cares for Fizz. As Olympic said, he still regrets what happened in the accident all those years ago when Fizz was injured severely and he got his scar. Blitz would arrive at the Goetia Palace to find Fizz being questioned, and he wonders if that will happen to him because of his situationship with Stolas. Ozzy would be looking terrified as he may be exposed for having relations with lower classes. Blitz would look confused as to what is happening due to only just arriving and no one explaining anything to him. But he would figure out that it had something to do with the events at Aussies. I must admit I haven't seen the show that Olympic has mentioned for a comparison, but I can see where the point is coming from, and it's the idea that Stolas and Ozzy are one side of the same coin whilst Blitz and Fizz are the other. I can't wait to see more of Ozzy and Fizz's relationship in the next episode. It'll be interesting to see how they function as a couple and how they differ from Stolas and Blitz. I fully agree with this theory. This was just my opinion on it. All credit must go to Olympic Studios for thinking of this in the first place. Thank you for having me, Olympic. It's been great.
Okay, thanks helluva16. I hope you understand my point of view. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Also, don't take this as 100% possible. Take it with a grain of salt. Also subscribe to her channel, she helped me a lot with this theory. Her channel will be in the description below.